One of the things that I find interesting about generations is how one generation perceives an idea or a group of people to be bad, whereas other generations don't necessarily see it that way. Let me give you an example and you might understand what I'm talking about. So, for example, my great grandparents, people born in the late 1800s and early 1900s, they didn't think highly of racial integration. Slavery, or the emancipation of slavery, I should say, was kind of a relatively new concept at the time. And there were a lot of people that still clung to old ideals. But their children, my grandparents, never saw the harm in it. But then when my grandparents got older, people born in the 1920s and 1930s, they thought that interracial marriage and race mixing was a bad idea. They felt that, people should stay within their own race, their own color, and things like that. While their children, my parents, who were born in the 1940s and 50s, didn't necessarily see the harm in it. When my parents got older, gay people was the thing that they had issues with. Gay people were everywhere and they felt that being gay wasn't something that you should be. Whereas my generation, born in the 1970s and the 1980s, didn't necessarily see the harm in it. And now today, my generation is looking at transgender people as people who are strange and shouldn't exist. But our children, once again, look at us and go, what's the harm in it? And that's kind of the whole idea with all of these. Like, everything that gets demonized and vilified and portrayed as the downfall of society ultimately turns out to be pretty harmless. And I'm sure that when our kids grow up, there's probably going to be something that they're going to look at that seems a little strange, but their children will probably be the same way. What's the harm in it? Because that's what I find. I find that everything that seemed to be bad ultimately turns out to be harmless. So whenever something like that comes up, just think about previous generations and what they felt was harmful or the downfall of society. And if you educate yourself, maybe you'll realize that you won't fall into that trap and see things for what they are, which is mostly harmless.